Sky Blue Fans TV. For the fans, by the fans.
Oh, what a brilliant goal! What a
Good evening, everybody. 4 defeats on the trot. Not looking good, I'm afraid. Looking very dodgy. Didn't expect that, to be honest, but I expected us to go up to Preston, even though we've got a bad record there, and get something, but we didn't come back with nothing again. I'm sure plenty of people out there want to have their thoughts on yesterday's game. Claudio, good evening, mate. You all right?
Good evening, Ken. Okay?
Yeah, not too bad. Vicky will be joining us shortly, I believe. I didn't go yesterday due to work commitments, but you watched it as well, didn't you? What was your initial thoughts of yesterday? And were you confident going into it or not?
Not really, if I'm honest. I just feel I know that they talk about records and how you think they should be broken, and it's over hundreds of years, whatever. And it's obviously different teams have played against each other over those years. But I just felt, because of the way we have been playing, it wasn't a good fixture to go to. You know, we've already lost. No. Confidence is going to be low anyway. And we started the game yet again I felt in a defeatist attitude. It was.
Yeah, I mean, they were on a bad run as well. They hadn't won for a few matches, had they?
You wouldn't have known that watching the first 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and I actually thought at some point, surely we're going to get out of our own half. And then we didn't, and we scored. I mean, totally against the run of play, and possibly with a hint of offside when the ball ended up at Haji Wright's feet.
Yeah.
But, and you take the lead 1-0 up. We're normally strong when we're in front, and to just capitulate within 2 or 3 minutes, embarrassing. And unfortunately, I thought in the first half, Fads looked like he was 36, 37 years old. He left wanting, and I don't understand the starting lineup. I don't understand why we went 1 up against the Albion, and it looked quite decent. To then change it back again and change the players around again. I mean, I think he kept the 3 at the centre. The 3 at the back stayed the same. Yeah.
I would have liked Sakimoto. I would have liked to start the game. I think Sakimoto has been very unlucky. I thought he's played reasonably well when he's played. I thought he was a bit unlucky. You know,
Ayari has shown nothing.
No, he hasn't.
Absolutely nothing. And any of the games he's played, that's what I don't understand. You're thinking, he's a lone player. Sakamoto's here for 3 or 4 years. Surely we should just concentrate on the players we've got who are going to be around next season. Yeah. I'm not bothered about a lone player from Brighton at all.
No.
And he's a 19-year-old kid who really, I don't think, should be trying to get football experience at a championship club that are wanting to get promoted.
Yeah, I mean, we might have to look at maybe sending him back to Brighton in January, because for me, he hasn't really done. He come with a lot of promise and a lot of hype, if you like, because they paid $5 million for him, didn't they?
Yeah,
wherever they bought him from. So he was highly recommended, and he's only a young lad, so he might well turn out to be a good player. But at the moment, I just don't think he's quite ready for the championship. The games he's played, I haven't really been impressed with their view at all.
No, and so lightweight. You can forgive that if he's quick on his feet and he nips it and puts the ball through. But we've had nothing. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the 2 lads up front are feeding off scraps, aren't they? Especially that first half. It was. I mean, I used to play forward. You're desperate for the ball on your feet. You just want balls that you can actually get hold of. No forward wants to keep just chasing balls down. That's not the fun part of playing up front at all.
Yeah. I mean, who would you have started instead of Rani then? Would you have gone with Sakimoto instead?
Oh, without a doubt, Sakamoto and Ayari, definitely.
Yeah.
I can't understand the change, to be honest. And the problem is, they don't ask him, do they, when they interview him?
No, they don't. They don't, to be honest. And that's one big criticism of CWR sometimes, where they don't ask the right questions, maybe, and they should. I think, the fans want to know about the team selection, and they should ask the question, well, what was up with Sakhamad? Why did he play?
I mean, I would have thought Eccles would have been a better choice than Ayari, to be honest. At least the lad would get his foot in. I just thought we need to go there and put a performance in, get the fans back on side again. Because the supporters are brilliant, and you could hear them.
Oh yeah, support was fantastic. Yeah, you can't criticise the support. It was absolutely brilliant. And that's one thing I think Robbie's always, obviously he does praise the support. He always says that at the end of his interviews, doesn't he? We've had some fantastic support, but at the end of the day, we how long does it go on? That's 4 defeats now on the trot. I mean, okay, we scored 2 goals yesterday. It's nice to see Hadji's right score twice. It might give him a bit of confidence. Maybe one of them probably looked a little bit offside from me if I'm on the TV. I don't know about you. What did you think about the goal? I mean, obviously, both of them were very similar, weren't they? From shots, he's sort of mopping up from shots from outside the area, or shots from Godden and a shot from Eccles, wasn't it? And he sort of, the keeper parried it, and he was in the right place at the right time.
Well, I felt he didn't really celebrate, because I thought he thought he was offside. I was expecting a flag.
That's what I thought at first.
Yeah, it was a very strange celebration. You think after not scoring for a few games, he'd have been sprinting to the halfway line, knee slide into the corner and all the rest of it. But it was none of that. It
was strange, because it was nice to see him score, and and he was in the right place at the right time. And he was unlucky as well in the second half. He could have had a hat trick, couldn't he? He got he had a chance right at the end, which was blocked. But at the end of the day, I think the first half performance was just not acceptable. It was very, very poor, wasn't it? And that's what cost. And that's what cost us the game.
We totally scored against them on a play, and you kind of think once we did, just be lucky and hold on to it.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We just completely fell apart again, which is. It seems like one ball can just completely split the defence. It's all over the place. Yeah. All over the place.
Let's have a look at some of the comments that are coming in. Paul Hughes, good evening, Paul. Evening, everybody. Keep our chins up. Thought there was some good signs of more aggression in the second half. Yeah, definitely in the second half, Paul, I agree. The first half was absolutely abysmal. But second half, we did come out fighting a little bit more. Ian Small, good evening, Ian. Glum here, but flying out for the Stoke game on Saturday. Well, hopefully, might meet you for a beer then, Ian, at some stage on Saturday. Might see you. Wrong starting 11, he says. Yeah, I think we agree with you there. I think I think Sakamoto should have played myself, and I think the majority of the fans I spoke to agree with that. Where's 4-3-3 is the way forward? Yeah. Do you agree that 4-3-3, Claudio?
Well, I'll tell you what, that second half, I don't know if it was smacks of desperation when he started chucking attacking players on.
He did.
It was a totally different team.
We were on the foot. They were just struggling to cope. They were just booting it anywhere, weren't they?
We were going forward. There's none of this messing around at the back, 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 passes between the 3 centre halves. Getting the ball forward as quickly as possible, making them turn. It was so much better. Better. There's only so much of the tippy tappy I can deal with, to be honest.
But of course, the damage was done in the first half, so we were chasing the game. That was the problem, weren't it? And we had to do something to get back in the game, and it's just a silly, poor goals that we give away. And when we'll talk about the goals in a minute, whereas Arani looked very lazy to me, disinterrogated at times. Yeah. Totally agree about Arani. I think look, a lot of people. Arani, good evening, Glenn. Arani needs a run of games, possibly, but how many games do you have to give him? I mean, how many games do you give him? He's had a few starts, hasn't he?
Yeah, and there's also it's okay if Glenn mentions they can't keep chopping and changing,
which I agree. Yeah, especially at the back. I think at the back, defensive wise, we should try and keep a strong back, back three or back four, whatever we're playing, and stick with it. At the moment, he keeps changing, bringing Kitchen in and then bringing Bobby Thomas in and then changing it all the time, doesn't he? And Faz it in. So I don't know whether he's going to give Faz a rest now. I don't know.
Personally, I think it all starts straight from the goalkeeper. If you're playing that type of football, possession-based football, you need a goalkeeper who's confident on the ball. A goalkeeper, I mean, you look at the Liverpool and Man City, I know they're world-class keepers, but they're virtually playing as a sweeper. And they know when to play it long, when to play it short, when to roll it out quick, when to slow the game down.
Yeah.
We just seem to rarely play it quick. How many times you hear the crowd going, come on, let's move the ball, and they'll roll it, and then the defender comes into the box to collect the ball, and you're thinking, well, you could have just played that ball to him. You no need to take it from there. I mean, frankly, the law change that allows players to come to the areas made the game worse, I think, in terms of that part of the game where the possession part where they're trying to make the pitch longer, but in fact, I just think it slows things down.
I probably agree with you there. You're right there. It does, and it's difficult. I mean, the chopping and changing. I probably agree. I do agree with Glenn with the chopping and changing. I don't like him chopping and changing the time. He didn't used to do that, did he? He used to normally keep the same team. Well, he has done in the past, hasn't he?
It's almost like he's got too many to choose from now. Last season, he couldn't.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And we kept saying, "Oh, these players are going like Victor could never drop him." I mean, I know scoring goals, but he couldn't leave him out because there was no one else. There was no fit forwards. It's like in midfield, there's so many people injured, he couldn't change anything. Now he's got a choice, and it's almost like he can't decide what's his strongest 11 is. And it's 15 games in now.
Yeah. And I don't think he knows
a lot of matches.
Yeah, and I don't think he knows his best back three, does he? Really, because he keeps changing there as well, doesn't he?
No. I thought Fads looked slow on Saturday.
He did.
Yeah,
even though I don't think it was a penalty personally. From what I've seen of it, I thought it was very. But when you put your arms up like that and try to hold back a player, is giving the referee a decision to make, isn't it?
Thing is, though, he's had the shot.
He's had the shot, so he technically played on, and he's had the shot, so he's had a double advantage, really, hasn't he? So
and the contact was minimal. I mean, you can see he touched his shirt, but not enough for him to fall on the floor like he did.
No.
And he's had the shot. So had that gone in, he wouldn't pull it back, would it? And go, oh, no, actually, it's a penalty.
Well, exactly, yeah. And you don't see that very often. Probably maybe because it was a Premier League referee, he decided to do that. But I think if it was a Championship referee, he wouldn't have done that. He would have just, okay, you've had your shot, mate. That's it. That's your chance. So that's it. And I think Sims got a similar sort of situation, didn't he, in the second half when Sims was through and he got clearly fouled. He didn't go down, Ellis Sims, and he shot or crossed, and didn't go anywhere. And if he's going to do it for that, he should have brought that back and said, "Well, hold on, that was a foul initially, so it's a penalty because it was in the box." So he could easily have done that, and he never. It was a very similar situation. Because it was definitely a foul. I think if Sims would have gone down, I think we would have got a penalty. But he didn't go down because he stayed up. Fair play to him, and he got his shot in. But, of course, the referee never brought it back, did he? He carried on.
I just feel as soon as he went to, I presume he was doing 4-3-3. I couldn't tell. It seemed to be all over the place. But it just looked, God, this is brilliant. We've got all these attacking players on, and we look like we're going to score goals.
Yeah. Well, that's right. He had to do something. He had to do something in the second half because the first half just wasn't good enough.
But yet again, we let in an awful goal. I mean,
terrible goal. Yeah. I mean, what are they doing?
I don't understand. I mean, I'm always screaming when I'm watching the game. I think Luke gets bored of me saying, I keep saying the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Stop the cross. You know what I mean? And I just find we just stand off so far off the player putting the cross in.
Yeah.
And for him to be 6-yard box, free header, I don't know why Ben doesn't come out and clatter him and just go for the ball.
Well, he nearly made another bit of a cock up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sort of that shot, and he sort of lost it, and it went out, didn't it? He nearly lost it. It could have easily gone in. Luckily, it went just past the post, didn't it?
I watched in the morning because I'm sad. I watched a rerun of the 86-87 match against Arsenal on YouTube. Mr. View Sky, our friend, who
Oh, friends of View Sky,
has put it
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
What interested me was the amount of times the keepers came out for crosses. Didn't matter where it was in the box. I mean, Oggy was superb. I didn't realise how good he was on crosses.
Oggy was good. Oggy dominated his box. I thought Oggy was really good at crosses.
And so I'm surprised he defends Ben sometimes when he says, "Oh, they're a tricky ball to come for." But I'm sorry, 6-yard box.
No,
that's a keeper's ball. You've got to come out and make some sort of effort.
Yeah,
make yourself big.
Yeah,
but maybe he thought Kitching was going to put his head to it.
Maybe.
He got completely lost, didn't he?
Yeah. I've seen some.
I think we're going to have to get to a point now where you have to put all this to bed and go, look, come on, let's just go again, because we've got to pick this up now.
Yeah,
we've got a buffer of 5 points, I think, or 6 points from the bottom three at the minute.
Yeah,
we need to use that and look above us and think, come on, we need to start getting it together again. We lost 5 in a row last season at the start in August. 4 league games in the Carabao Cup, so it's not unusual for us to go on a run like this. But it's just unexpected for me, really. I didn't expect this at all. I know we've got new players in, but we're being told the quality of the squad's better than last year. But
that's it.
It doesn't feel it at the minute, does it?
It doesn't feel it. No, it's very. There's a lot of sort of negative vibes going around at the moment that Robbins has wasted the money he's had to spend and stuff like that. I don't know. I think the jury's still out on Hadji. He's got another 2 goals, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's all about confidence. If that brings him on, then great. I think we've got to give him time. And Sims, I suppose. Sims looked good when he came on. To be fair, he looked aggressive. He looked up for it. It's just that they've got to do it for 90 minutes. No, it's no good doing it for 45 minutes. And going 2-0 down and then trying to fight back. You just can't do that every match, can you? You just,
right.
And a better team than Preston probably would have punished us a lot more. Because they're not a particularly great side, Preston, are they?
This is frustrating. They've gone into the top 6.
Yeah, exactly. It just shows you.
And that actually surprised me. I didn't realise they did go into the top 6. So I saw the table. I thought, how are they in the top 6? They've not won a game for the last 7.
No, they haven't. They hadn't, to be fair. And I was amazed. I know they made a good start to the season, but they sort of failed. They tailed off a little bit, haven't they? Let's have a look. A couple of the comments that are coming in. Ian Pimlock, good evening, Ian. 5 at the back isn't working anymore. Leaves it too light in midfield and in the box. Yeah, it probably does, depending on who you're playing against. Obviously, the quality of the players you're playing against.
The fact that Ian says 5 in the back, though, is interesting, because it's supposedly meant to be 3 at the back.
Supposed to be 3 at the back, but
we end up with 5 at the back. We don't. The wing backs don't do what they're meant to be doing. But
no, and that's probably that he's got to try and get the right balance there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Because you've got to try and make sure that they come back and do their defensive work as well as going forward. We've got good players going forward, but not necessarily them players are very good at defending, are they? That's the problem. Great going forward, but not the other way around. Mostly love of music. This is. I like 4-3-3. I like Bidwell starting left back. Well, Bidwell came on, didn't he?
Well, if he's going to play 4 at the back, then you go for Bidwell. To be honest.
Yeah.
A traditional left back.
Yeah. Because he knows what he's doing, doesn't he? And he's there. That's a possibility. And we haven't seen much of Bidwell, to be fair, this season, have we? But he doesn't let you down, Bidwell. To be fair, every time he's played, when I've seen him play, and I've been at the games when I've seen him play, he's done okay. He had a bit of criticism sometimes, but overall, I think his performances have been quite good. Ian Collins, good evening, Ian. Van der Man and Sacco should both play. Yeah, Van der Man, like the same. Yeah, I agree.
They should be in them. Yeah,
it should be definitely played. The penalty was 100% correct. Fans were lucky to stay on the pitch. Yeah, I suppose in theory, if he made contact, I can't quite make out whether he made contact. I think he probably did a little bit. In theory, when you put your hands up like that and try to pull someone's shirt back like that, then he's clearly denying a goal-scoring opportunity, isn't he? So in theory, that could have been really a red card. So I suppose he did get off a little bit lightly there. But the problem was the initial decision by the referee was to play on, wasn't it? An advantage. That's what the problem was. That's what we were, and he got his shot in. So he obviously thought he was obviously obstructed in the way he got his shot in. But I say if he would have scored, then you know what I mean. It's different, but you don't see many referees do that. If the player actually gets the shot on, you don't go down and gets your shot on, and normally the referee would let that go. But on this occasion, he got his shot in, then he went down, and then he sort of threw his arms up in the air to say, "Look, I've been fouled. I've got off balance and all this." And the referee agreed with him, obviously. But when Fads puts his hands up, if Fads hadn't put his hands up, and he'd just sort of gone with him, then he probably would have got away with it, wouldn't he?
The whole thing looked awful, to be honest.
Yeah, it looked terrible, awful. It was terrible. I mean, we shouldn't have got caught out in that position anyway to start with.
And I think he should have. Well, the substitution was probably the fact he'd been booked, and they knew they were going to absolutely hammer him in the second half.
Yeah, and if Fads has a bad game, he has a bad game. It's not very often, to be fair. He has had a bad game this season.
But I just think, I mean,
brilliant.
There's a comment here from Glenn Watkin that says Fads is a liability. He's like Dorr was in the League One after promotion, passed it sadly, and there could be a bit of that in that, to be honest, because we're getting caught out. We are getting caught out in defence, and we seem to be blaming all the other defenders, but not Fads. So they're all culpable at some stage. So something's not right.
Well, I think to be fair to Robbins, he brought in Kitchen, didn't he, to replace, I think, Fads. And I think that the plan was, when we play midweek games, maybe to give Fads a bit of a rest and just play him now and again. And don't play him, when we have 2 games a week, sort of thing. But obviously, Fads started the season quite strong, and he's been quite resilient, to be fair. He's been man of the match on a couple of games. Start of the season, first few matches, he has done well, really well. But as the games have gone on, obviously we've had a lot of midweek games. It might be the right time to bring Fads out and give him a rest.
Well, it'd be quite interesting at the players' meeting on Tuesday, because it's not often we have it when we're not on we're on such a bad run.
Yes,
so,
we don't know who the players are yet, but
no, exactly. So it'd be interesting.
If they're defenders, they might come in for a bit of stick. So, but it'd be interesting because there might be a few tasty questions going about. Is Milan 100% fit? Said Glenn Watkin. Not sure. Not sure if he is, to be honest. No, I don't know, to be honest. In Pimlot, teams have found out is out now. They can let us keep the ball because we will lose it. Yeah, we do tend to lose it. Even Ben Sheaf, I've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed in the last few matches, he's been giving the ball away quite. It's unlike him, isn't it, Ben Sheaf? Some of his passing.
I just think that's down to pressure. Once you're under pressure, you make mistakes. It's really hard to keep it together. And a few times yesterday he was looking for a killer pass and it wasn't quite coming off. But the whole team for the majority of that game did not perform, which doesn't help.
No, and they've all got to take responsibility at the end of the day. We can always single out players, can't we? Individuals, but at the end of the day, it's a whole team. It's a whole team that's got to look at themselves. And did they do enough to win that game? The answer was no, they didn't. Because they only played for probably 40 minutes out of the 90, which is not good enough. You don't win a game by playing that amount. Paul Hughes come back. RCWR scared to challenge Robbins as he may refuse an interview. Andy Turner has had a cold shoulder from Robbins. Hope not too controversial. Oh, right. Okay. I didn't realise Andy Turner had a cold shoulder, had he?
I know Rob Gurney did years ago.
He did, yeah. By asking the wrong question, possibly.
Yeah. I think because Rob's heart on his sleeve, isn't he? He's a cough
Yes,
fan.
he's a more of a fan. Yeah,
and you can tell that when he does the
whereas
post.
Clive isn't.
And he does let things go on the phone-ins where I think Clive will step in and be a bit more devil advocate kind of thing. Well, they've got to take the rough with the smooth. You can't just accept all the plaudits and then when it's a bit rough, not experience any questions. I mean, that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, of course,
these guys get paid a lot of money.
Yeah. He's been, he's got it. Fans want to know answers to questions, and he might get a bit upset. The facts are there. If we've lost 4 on the bounce, the fans want to know why we've lost 4 on the bounce. Why we're not playing as well as we should be. Why the team's not gelling the way it should be. And they're decent questions to ask, aren't they? They're not, and maybe the things that we didn't know about that he could tell us, like on the training field, maybe players are carrying injuries or whatever, things that we don't know. He could tell us that. But yeah, certainly, I quite agree with you there. They don't ask. Sometimes they don't. I feel anyway. They don't ask the questions that they should. They should.
Glenn makes a comment there.
Yeah.
Only 3 teams in the championship that played on Saturday play 3-5-2, all in the bottom 6. I saw that. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, well, that is interesting. Yeah, to be honest. Although it's early days, isn't it? A lot can change. A lot can change. I mean, in Pimlock contact says we scared them, which is what you said earlier, with 3 attackers.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what to do, did they? They were panicking. And I think if the game, if we had a little bit more time, we probably could have got someone out of the game, to be honest. Reese, good evening, Reese. Hope you're well, mate. Evening, guys. Would you start Bidwell over De Silva on Saturday, Claudia?
Well, I would do just for that awful header.
A terrible header. What the hell was he doing?
It's not the first this season. I'm heading it straight back into the. Oh, yeah, it's just.
Yeah. It was bad, and well, that's what the squad's there for. The squad's there for. You've got the shirt and you've got to perform. And if you're not performing in that shirt, no matter how well you played previously, then
he's ever present with Fads and Eccles up until today, and Eccles was dropped out. I noticed. I was looking at the old programs this season. I thought, I didn't realise that.
Yeah,
every game, and the majority of the time he's been fine. But I think we need a bit of solidity at the minute, don't we? And it's all right trying to be flamboyant, but it's not getting results, is it?
No, it's not.
We've only won 3 matches. At the end of the day, we've won 3 matches out of 15.
Yeah.
And that's not good enough, really. I don't think, had we not spent the kind of money we spent, I don't think the fans would be too upset. We'd probably be angry because we hadn't spent any money. But the fact we've spent a lot of money and it's not looking brilliant at the minute.
No, that's right. And that's the problem because, say, he's not a man to spend money normally, Robin, because he's never had any in the past. And that's the problem. So, it'd be interesting to see. We've got to give him time now. As you say, how much time is the question. But because I always keep going back to this, the bar's been set so high, hasn't it, from last year? Fans expect us to be up there. Where, I mean, let's face it, last year we didn't know. Obviously, we didn't know that we were going to be in the playoffs. We didn't expect nowhere to be nowhere near a playoff final. It got everybody by surprise. We expected to maybe have a good season, but to get in the playoffs and get through to the final, that was a bit of a bonus, really. And the bar's been set so high that fans expect that again, and it's not always possible to repeat that, especially the season afterwards when you have so many changes and you tell your 2 best players, and you've got so many new players coming in. It's going to be very difficult to repeat that what we did last year. But Catty Cats, where's Miles? Miles is very poorly at the moment. He's not very well, unfortunately, so he couldn't make it tonight. He's on his sick bed, but hopefully he'll be okay. I'm sure he'll be listening in. Hopefully he'll get well soon, Miles. By the way, we all rooting for you. Bless him. He went to Preston yesterday, and there's so many steps, quite steep at Preston, and he has to keep going up and downstairs. When he goes up and downstairs, he does struggle with his lungs and stuff, breathing and that. So I think he's struggling a bit today. So he's put his feet up. He's resting at home, and hopefully he'll be okay for Tuesday night for Meet the Players night. Which brings us on to Meet the Players night. We have got 2 tickets to give away for Meet the Players night, which will be given away in the second half of the programme. We're going to just have another comment. Is this living by these towns? Yeah, go on.
This is, well, live and die in these towns. Evening, gents. Evening. Genuinely sick of the Robins Out Brigade now. They've obviously entitled their opinion, but he's not going anywhere, and the fans with a brain know he's the best manager we've had in my lifetime. Yeah, I mean, I'm not one of those who wants Robins out. I just want Robins to sort it out.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
And because to be honest, whenever anybody says, "Oh, Robins out," we need a change, I actually think. I mean, the easiest answer is who is there, because
who do you replace him with? Yeah,
well, everybody mentions haven't done that great wherever they've been. So I can't understand why you'd want to get rid of somebody who's has battled with us for the last 6 seasons with absolutely nothing. Okay, we know he spent money in that. But we'll have to see how it works out, won't we? I mean, you can't just say after 15 matches with a bunch of new players, we need a new manager in. I mean, we're not Watford, are we?
No, exactly.
And I can't say. I mean, it's interesting because there was some quotes from Doug King from that forum. I'll read these out. It said, "So in a couple of years, if we're mucking around down in the wrong end of the table, for me, the leadership and the people at this club will not have been doing what we're supposed to be doing, because that's not the goal. We need to be knocking on the playoff door every single year, and we need to get into those playoffs and try to get through the door. That's the goal that I have set for the club, for the manager, and obviously the policy that we have for recruitment, which will be pivotal." So, I mean, reading between the lines, that basically says we need to be doing better than what we're doing.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we think. It's down to Doug King. He doesn't. I mean, Sisu had to show some loyalty to Robins, because basically he was, while we were doing well, the Sisu Out Brigade were dormant, weren't they? Really?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no mention of the word.
And in fact, they were coming back. Not one penny more. And some of them have bought a £500 season ticket, which I think is laughable now. So anyway, so I just think Doug King doesn't owe Mark Robins anything whatsoever, because he doesn't know him. He's coming as a new owner. I mean, he stuck with him because basically he hasn't got a clue about football. He's admitted that. But other owners have come in, haven't they? They take over a club, and the first thing they do is wipe out the whole management team and bring in their own people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they do that.
But I just feel, you got to stick with him. I mean, it just seems it's a nonsense. There's too much. We've done too much work over the last, few years to just chuck that all away on a whim, which is what it will be. Yeah. I mean, obviously, come March, and we've not won a game for another 10 matches or something, then there might be a serious problem going on. But I don't think that's going to happen.
No. Well, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I certainly back Robins, and there's nobody else out there that you can bring in that springs to mind. People are saying John Eustace and stuff like that, but yeah, he had a great time at Birmingham. He did okay, but he was only there for a short. He hadn't been in there for a long period. Robins been there and done it. He's say he was with us League Two, wasn't he? Into League One, and he's done a fantastic job. He's going through a bit of a rough patch at the minute, but you just got to show a bit of loyalty, haven't you? There's no loyalty in football these days, but I just think on this occasion, you not to panic with the manager situation. I'm sure he'll get it right. He knows things are not going to plan. So I think at the end of the day, he's got to. I know the buck stops at him, but at the end of the day, he'll get it right. I'm sure he will. Well, we're going to play another little advert break, and then we're going to come back. We've got 2 tickets to give away for Meet the Players on Tuesday night. I was going to do a Spot the Ball, but I haven't got a Spot the Ball, I don't think, available now. I did have one, and it's not listed. So we might have to do a question, Claudia. So we've got these 2 tickets to give away for Tuesday night, so they've got to go. So someone on here tonight can win 2 tickets for the Meet the Players at the Tavern. We don't know who the players are, not to be announced yet, but it should be an interesting one because obviously there'll be a lot of angry supporters or want to ask questions about what's going on, why we're not performing to the standard we should be. Okay, we're going to have a short break and we'll be back shortly.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.
Good evening, welcome back to Sky Blue Fans TV. We were just discussing in the first half about the Preston result and how Mark Robbins' job could be under pressure or not. We've also got 2 tickets to give away for Meet the Players on Tuesday night at the Tavern. I'm going to get Claudia to set a question for that while I jab it on them with the comments. Because I was going to do a spot the ball tonight, but unfortunately I haven't got a spot the ball available to do. So unfortunately I can't put one on. So we can't do it. So let's go back to the some of the comments. Let's have a look. Wes, right looked more comfortable on the left-hand side. I quite agree. Yeah, he looked okay, actually. I thought Wright had a good game, and I think he'll get better, right? With confidence, definitely. He got them 2 goals, and I thought he did okay. He had a bit of stick lately, but he did okay, and so did Sims, to be fair, when he came on. Ian Small, I thought 2.3 was until a killer third against the run of play. 4-4-1 in possession is our best. Yeah, I quite agree with that as well, Ian. That is our best, but problem is, I think he changes it to depending on who we play. I think Robbins, doesn't he? And I think you're right there with Eccles. Do you think Eccles should come out the side a little bit now? Claudio, maybe a rest for Josh Eccles?
Possibly, but
because he took him out, didn't he, on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, on the first half showing, no. Then in the second half, I thought he did okay, but he's still trying to give him that ball away. He'll win a tackle, and then his next. I mean, all these, according to the stats, he had 83% pass rate, apparently.
Yeah.
But I mean, that includes any pass 2 yards. I mean, these stats do my head in. And it's the important passes, the ones that are penetrating defenses. They're the ones that really count.
Yeah.
And him and Sheaf on Saturday weren't doing it at all. They're getting cut out a lot.
That's the problem. Glenn Watkins come back on, very small, absolutely. Hoover for Stoke will bomb on from right back along with Laris, so need to be solid in defence. Yeah, I mean, we got Stoke on Saturday. They're a good side, Stoke. They came here, they beat us last year, if I remember. And of course, they've got 2 of our former players, didn't they? Michael Rose and McNally.
They've both scored recently as well.
They have, yeah. And that's my biggest worry, when we play teams with our former players, that you always think they're going to score, and just all up they do, don't they? Or they have a hand in the goal somewhere. They set it up, or they have a fantastic game against us. Because no doubt Rose will be looking to prove a point because he left. Obviously, his contract was finished, and then McNally, obviously, he was on loan. And a lot of fans out there are surprised Robbins didn't go for McNally in the summer. Are you surprised McNally never came back?
I think they must be asking too much. He's only on loan, isn't he, to Stoke? Is that
He's on
right?
loan, yeah. Maybe it's a loan fee or something like that. Maybe they paid more money for the loan fee.
Well,
I don't know.
also, Burnley probably don't know what division they're going to be in next. Well, at the minute, it looks like they're going to come straight back down. So I suppose they can't get rid of too many players, can they? It's a strange one, isn't it? You know, it's sort of looking after their own interests, aren't they? Should we have a question for the?
Yeah, if you got a question ready, have you?
Question. I mean, the only way we can do this is
I didn't want to put you on the spot.
First person who answers on the comments has got 2 tickets.
Okay.
Right.
Unless we do a draw at the end with all the correct answers. It's up to
we
you.
could do that. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, because sometimes people are not as quick as others to respond. So go on then. Give the question. This is for 2 tickets for the Tuesday night Meet the Players at the Tavern, 7 o'clock. It's a good night. We have a good crack, and it'll be interesting Tuesday night because we don't know who the players are, and there could be some interesting questions, certainly from the floor, from the fans. So we are hosting it on Tuesday night. Myself and Miles and Claudia will be there on the floor with his microphone, getting them questions. So and Victoria, of course, as well. So it'll be interesting. So go on then. What's the question?
Right. The question is, who did we play against when Gordon Strachan took over as manager? Who was our opponents the very first match when Gordon Strachan took over as manager?
So what was Gordon Strachan's first game in charge of the Sky Blues? Yeah.
Yeah. Who were we playing against?
Okay. All right. It's nice and simple.
Not as caretaker, as full manager.
Right. Full-time manager.
Yeah.
Manager. Who did we play against? This is for 2 tickets for the Meet the Players on Tuesday night, and then we'll get you to repeat that question again in a minute when we have a look at a few of the comments. But yeah, so basically, what was Gordon Strachan's first full game as a full-time manager? Who did we play against? Who was the opposition? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Get your answers in, text in, or message in for your answers, so you can win them tonight on here. 2 tickets for Tuesday night. Just text the answer in, please, as soon as you can. And if there's more than 1 correct entry, we will do a little draw at the end of the programme. Okay. Right then, let's have a look at more of the messages that are coming in. Got a lot of messages tonight. Obviously, you can understand a lot of people upset at recent results. Where's Miles? Is sleeping in the new CSF? He certainly is. Yeah, he's got his nice new hoodie, Miles. We haven't got a picture of it somewhere, but he's got a brand new Coventry City hoodie, sky blue hoodie with a big badge on. It looks very comfortable actually, and he's probably lying in bed with that on now. No doubt he'll send a picture of us in a minute with him lying in bed with it on. We live in Darbody Towns. Faz didn't foul him. I was watching it on TV. His momentum caused him to fall. Didn't hardly touch the guy. That was my initial opinion. To be fair, I didn't think there was much contact, if any. And I was surprised, as we said earlier, that the referee brought it back after the guy already had a shot and give a penalty. It's very unusual that happens, to be fair. But you know, he did, and it's a Premiership referee. What did you think about the referee? I mean, I know we've all criticised referees. Was he any better than the Championship referees we've had?
I still believe that they are relying on the fail-safe of VAR, especially the ones
even though we didn't have it on Saturday.
Yeah, and I feel that their decision making isn't. These are the Premier referees who come down.
Yeah.
The decision making, I think, isn't great because they're relying on the fail-safe of VAR. I mean, I saw examples of that today. There's the cat.
The cat's in town.
I saw examples of that in the Premier League games. If anybody saw the Newcastle Arsenal match yesterday with that, how long? I mean, it was obvious that it was a foul on the defender, or they made a meal of it.
Yeah.
It goes to VAR, and they don't overrule anything. I just.
I
actually think get rid of it. Get rid of it. I'd sooner we argue about the toss about decisions, and then because than what we're doing at the minute.
Yeah, because there seems to be more for my like. There seems to be more controversy now than there ever was when just the referee made a decision.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
today,
what,
when Luton scored today, they were looking for offside, and they're basically basing it on the bloke's foot. He put the cross in, and he's virtually in the virtually. There's like a thickness of a needle between them. I'm thinking,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I know years ago we used to
offside.
we used to give the always give the benefit of the doubt to the attacking team. That was always the stance for certainly at local level. If it looked 50-50, then you always give the advantage to the attacking team.
Also, when you're watching it on the telly, the amount of times the linesmen are not in line with the last man. No. About 2 or 3 yards the wrong way, and I'm thinking, well, you can't even see that.
Yeah.
I can't say you can even flag it. And of course, now they don't flag at all, do they?
No, they don't flag. They wait. They're all ear-pieced up, aren't they? So they're speaking in the ears to each other.
Ian Small makes a reference there. Ref, question mark. White offside, fans not a pen. Gordon Ellis foul too, made loads of mistakes. So I think it's probably all true. But with VAR there, it then gets looked at, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that just shows, I don't know, it's whether or not they're scared to make certain decisions now. It was too easy to give that penalty, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's a Premier referee. That's a UEFA referee as well, the Champions League referee.
FIFA.
Well, FIFA ref, yeah. So he's one of the top, I think he's one of the top two, him and the other guy. There's two top referees, and he's one of them, isn't he, in the Premier League? And I'm not quite sure what he did wrong. Was it the Wolves game? He made a bit of a cock up. Is that
was he in the? He was in the studio checking.
Was he in the VAR room?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but they got done again, didn't they? Wolves, same again.
They did.
Two players died, 2 penalties, and
that was never a penalty. I couldn't believe it. And it's Wolves again. So that's 3 times they've been involved in it in controversial VAR incidents, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I can imagine what their fans are speaking about it now. And what they want, they want to get rid of it straight away because they've been so unlucky, and I couldn't believe it was Wolves again that was the victim at the weekend. But that's just the way it goes. But I know their manager was absolutely fuming about the decision, quite rightly as well. Paul Hughes, Robbins is a great fit for Carv. We lost 2 best players in the league, and O'Hare has been obviously out for most of the season. But who of the new signings have been of great consistency?
So many.
Well,
I think
I was going to say De Silva because I like De Silva, but then he made a mistake, didn't he? On
yeah, I mean, him and Milan have been fine, I think. Yeah. But they're not attacking as much as they should be. But that's probably the way we're playing. That's not down to them having to defend. I think. I mean, Binks has been all right for us, hasn't he? I don't understand why he's not on the team.
Yeah,
Binks has been fine.
Binks has been okay. I think I like Binks. I haven't seen too much of Kitchen so far. I mean, he looks decent. He hasn't really had a run of games, has he? So we can't really judge him because he's been on the bench a lot. Certainly the first.
Thomas started brilliantly, and I'll tell you what's interesting on Saturday was they actually started using in the last 30 seconds Milan's long throw.
Yeah, I mean, where's that been? Why haven't we been using that?
I don't understand it. I don't understand the other night against West Brom either. We just
whether Robbins has told him not to do it, or I don't know.
Don't understand.
It's very strange, isn't it? Because it's better than having a corner sometimes, having the long throw, isn't it? Depending on what position you're in, but sometimes it's a lot better than having a corner.
I mean, the commentary was interesting on Saturday. The commentary from Preston guys. It was weird. The first half it was our lot, and the second half it was Preston, and they were saying that they thought O'Hare not great when he considered he'd been out. And he felt that him being so high was causing them problems.
Yeah.
But
he will, and he'll only get better, by the way.
Hopefully he gets stronger.
He'll get better as the season, and he's just building up his fitness now, and he's had a couple of games, and it's not going to be far off. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts against Stoke, on Saturday. Maybe it's a little bit too soon, I don't know, but he might start him and then maybe bring him off, after an hour or something like that. But we've certainly missed him and we could do with him. This is the question I was going to ask you about the goalkeeper. Time to give Collins a start now? Simple as that, says Wes. I'm not so sure. I think Ben Wilson has got a little bit more credit in the bank at the moment, personally.
My confusion on this is we've got Simon Moore.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah, we've
got obviously Ben Wilson. So supposedly 3 keepers are meant to could be first team keepers, which we don't really need. So why did we bring Collins in? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Because I'm gathering they're not playing the under 23s, are they? Or are they?
No, they've had very little. There's not been many matches, to be fair, for the under 21s or 23s. I know there was one the other week, but normally the young keeper starts in that game, didn't he?
I thought they brought Collins in because he's a ball-playing goalkeeper. So I don't know. I mean, last season when Simon Moore dropped a couple of clangers, he dropped him, didn't he?
But you remember he started the season brilliantly, didn't he? If you remember. When he had the first few matches, he was fantastic. Simon Moore, when he first came here, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
Oh, but not starting.
Not last season. Sorry, when he first came in.
But he had the goal where he didn't come out against Sunderland, and then the Millwall incident.
Yes,
and then he dropped it.
Yeah, he had a couple of clangers on the trot, and his confidence.
Ben, I remember going to Burton for that cup game. Ben was terrible that night at the Carabao Cup match. I thought we've got a problem here.
Absolutely awful. But then again, I don't think anybody played well that night, did they? No. All of them were terrible.
This was all a bit confused. I wish somebody would ask him on CWR and say, why do we need?
Yeah, what's the situation with? I mean, obviously he hasn't even got rid of Simon Moore. He's still here. Yeah. I mean, he's not even on the bench. Obviously, we've got Collins on the bench, so technically got 3 keepers, but Simon Moore's not doing anything at all. Whether the plan was for him to go out on loan and maybe it didn't quite work out, or a deal fell through, or what, I don't know. But it seems very strange that Simon Moore's still here, and he hasn't gone anywhere. I know Collins is a good keeper by all accounts. I haven't seen much of him. Apart from I've seen a couple of clips when he played for Barnsley. He had a fantastic season. A lot of Barnsley fans rated him quite highly. When do you give him his chance? How many?
We've got the 3 best players from Barnsley in our squad.
Yeah,
but they were League One.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, they were. And they lost out on the playoff final as well, didn't they, Barnes, if you remember? But yeah, I think Collins is a good keeper, but I'm not quite sure it's the right time to do the change. Okay, if Ben makes a couple of more clangers, then maybe you've got to look at it and say, look, have a little bit of a rest and let's give Collins a go and take it from there. But at the moment, I think Ben Wilson's still got a little bit of credit in the bank. All keepers make mistakes. Of course, they're well noticed if you're a keeper because it normally costs a goal, doesn't it, if you make a mistake as a goalkeeper? Whereas a player could probably get away with it. The goalkeeper can't get away if he makes a mistake because it normally costs you big time. So yeah, for me, I think a little bit more time for a couple more games maybe for Ben Wilson. And if he carries on and he does make a couple of more mistakes, and maybe it is time to do a change, but not for me, not at the moment. But that's just my opinion. But obviously, other people have got their own opinions. Shall we just remind you of the question again, Claudio?
Yeah. It was which team did we play against when Gordon Strachan took charge of the manager's role for Coventry City?
Okay. Have you seen any correct answers come through yet?
I've seen, yeah, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Is there a correct answer there?
There is one correct answer there, yeah.
Well, okay, we've got one correct answer, so there you go. Who else we got on the messages? Kimberly, good evening, Kimberly. No, get well soon, Miles. There you go. You got all your fans for you in Miles. We're living by the die by these towns. For me, one thing this season is that the squad seemed to be lacking togetherness in the past few seasons. I think Robbins, AD, etc. need to try and regain that within the squad. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think? I know the last couple of seasons they were very much together. You could see them. They all went out together, I suppose, in the evening, and they've got together well. And a lot of them have moved on now. A couple of them have moved on, and they've got new players come in. So it's just a matter of gelling, isn't it? I suppose, and getting used to all the new faces.
I mean, the players who left, 75% of them were nowhere near the first team squad, really.
No, that's right. There was a lot of dead wood, if you like, that left.
Yeah, and I just think our major problem are those two big players. What I don't understand is we were playing a certain style last season with Big Vic up front.
Yeah.
And so he's a robust striker, likes to run with the ball. He likes to take defenders with him. He likes to run with it and all the rest of it. A kind of like modern day Cyril Regis in that respect.
Yeah.
So why didn't we go and look for a striker with similar qualities? Yeah. You're not telling me there's no other striker that plays like that. There's plenty of centre forwards who play in that kind of role around the world. I don't understand why we've gone for two strikers who don't play that way and then completely design our team and the way we play to suit two different strikers. That's what I don't understand. We know we lost Hamer. That's a massive loss. You could see that from the first game after we played Leicester in a match we should have won. But I don't understand why we didn't look for a striker who'd got similar qualities. That's a strong, robust, bullying striker.
When Hadji Wright came on as sub against Leicester, I thought that was the player.
Well, yeah, but he's more. I know you mean, but he's sort of slender.
He made a great start, didn't he? Nearly scored as well, didn't he?
Yeah, but he hasn't got that. I mean, I've seen somebody's mentioned it to me before that how come he can't seem to win a header? And I've said, well, he's 6 foot something, and then when he jumps, he's 5'2". It's just weird how I don't know. He's just. Maybe he needs a good buffeting by a few players to realise you've got a battle in this league. You don't get free kicks easy, I mean, I watched the Copa Libertadores last night.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a game like it. I'm thinking, God, this is South American football. It's not for me. The amount of players rolling around, slight touches, a referee. I mean, fair play to the ref. He hardly gave a foul because it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Always surrounding the referee. It was pathetic. But I think maybe when he was playing in Turkey, maybe you get those free kicks if it's a slight touch.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Yeah.
You're not going to get it in the Championship.
No.
Normally you have to be fouled good and proper to get something if you're up front.
So would you rather Robbins brought in an experienced Championship or maybe lower end Premiership player to replace him?
I don't think he can. I think we're stuck with it because the critical player now is somebody in midfield.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if we get somebody in midfield who could thread balls to him and get him behind defenders, we might be all right. Because then I think with Victor, we were relying on him getting the ball like he did against Wigan and ran half the pitch with the ball and scored a wonder goal.
Yeah.
I can't see these two lads up top doing it.
No.
And I can't see
a completely different player.
Do that.
Yeah.
You watch Matty Godden once Callum O'Hare gets going. The amount of goals set up for him by threading the ball through.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're going to have to rely on.
It's just that little piece of jigsaw that was missing, isn't it? We have plenty of possession in games, but when we get to the
I was just surprised that we didn't bring in a forward similar, and we've totally changed the way we're playing again, back to what it was when we first came up into the Championship, where we just survived really up until the last month when we managed to get a few wins.
Yeah. It's difficult. I know it's difficult. Players availability, but we say we did have the money available, and another player I think we've missed is probably Casey Palmer. And I know he's not 100% fit all the time. He hasn't played every game, but I think he's a sort of player, skillful player, very similar to O'Hare, if you like. With having both of them out, is a bit of a major blow, because you got two of your most creative players not available for selection, and then we're missing a big piece of jigsaw. We've got nobody, with that final ball, that final little pass in to the forwards, if you like, to score the goals. And yeah, I know where you're coming from. And Godden used to thrive on that, didn't he? All the time. From O'Hare, especially.
Well, definitely. And that's, I think the way we're playing, that's what we're going to have to hope for, I reckon.
Yeah.
Will Wood guy in these towns has I think Jean-Philippe Crasso was the striker I wanted us to bring in opposed to Haji Wright. He would have been the Vic replacement. Look him up, but he plays for Red Star Belgrade. As far as the midfielder goes, to replace Hamer, Jesse Bosch. Yeah, if he's at Red Star Belgrade, I bet we can't even match his wages, to be honest.
No, well, that's the problem, isn't it? The wages.
And a player like that guy, who's a big strapping boy, I could see somebody at one of the German teams getting hold of him, basically. Yeah. I just, unfortunately, after watching Luton today, if that had been us, we'd have been in such a good position to sign some really big players.
And that's that's a little small level of failure, if you like, that we've had, and just a little, we're like obviously that close, but yet that far away from being in the Premier League, and could easily have been us. And I look at Luton's results, so I think, they're having a bit of a bad season, but they haven't really brought that many players in, have they? I noticed that Townsend's gone there now as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, that's the difference. People saying, why can't we get Townsend? But of course, as soon as Luton come knocking on the door, he was there because it's Premier League football.
Of course, and he's going to get Premier League wages, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't care that they're probably going to get relegated. It's the same with Barnsley. They're not bothered. They're not bothered who they're playing for. They just want Premier League. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
Should we give the results of the quiz? Does
anyone
do that?
Yeah, okay. Let's just have another quick look at one of the Ian Small. People criticised Kelly, but noticed from our form without him. Kelly. That's another one who's been out injured, obviously. Liam Kelly. What do you think about Kelly? I mean, would you say we missed Kelly, Claudia? I suppose we do in a way, because he was, he's a good defensive midfielder, isn't he?
I think a fit Kelly is fine, but it's in the end it's going to be the legs. But if you can get 65, 70 minutes out of him and he plays solidly in front of the back four, that's not. But we need. Sheaf and Eccles are meant to be doing that job anyway. It's
well, they are, yeah. And this is when your squad players have got to stand up, haven't they, and be counted, because they're there to support players when they're injured. Like when Kelly's getting on a little bit now, obviously he wasn't going to start every game anyway. But when he's not been inside, players like Eccles and Sheaf and that have got to stand up and be counted and put in performances. Whereas when to make out we don't miss him, but I suppose we probably have missed him in a way. Anyway, like the competition, two tickets to the Meet the Players event on Tuesday night at the Tavern. The question first of all was, Claudia,
which team did we play against when Gordon Strachan took over the reins as manager of City? Do you want to have a guess?
What year was that?
96.
No idea. What? I was going to say someone like Middlesbrough, something like that. No, I'm wrong.
Yeah, the disappointing thing is that he took over, and in my head I thought, "Come on, we're going to go."
What league were we in when he took over? He was
Premier League.
Premier League, yes. So I was going to say someone like Middlesbrough.
Yeah, it was right. The right answer is put on the screen.
Okay. Oh, Gillingham, Simon Wells.
Yeah, it was the League Cup third round replay. We'd drawn 2-2 at their place.
Right, okay.
And they came to us and they beat us 1-0. We were Premier League and they were Div 3, probably.
Yeah.
That was his first game. So I knew it was going to go downhill from there eventually.
So he lost 1-0 in his first match against Gillingham.
First match, yeah.
And that was at home. That was in Coventry.
Yeah, I was at home.
Oh, okay.
12,639 people.
I think I remember it now. I remember losing to Gillingham.
They could have, in fact, they should have battered us. I think they hit the bar twice. We were terrible.
Did he make a few changes for that game? He probably
Well,
did.
no, I read the team out. The team was Oggy in goal.
Yeah.
In goal, Burrows, Liam Daish, Richard Shaw, Paul Williams.
Yeah.
Ian Jess, Gary McAllister, Kevin Richardson, John Solarco, Paul Talfer, Noel Whelan.
Well, no, in fact, that's a strong side, that is, and it shouldn't be losing.
Dean Dublin came on as a sub.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think Gavin Strachan come on as well.
Wow.
I should have said, who was the sub goalkeeper?
Was
Aussie.
Who?
Aussie goalkeeper was the sub keeper.
Oh, who's that then?
John Filan.
Oh, John Filan. Yeah, with the curly hair. I remember him. Yeah. John Filan. Yeah. He didn't play that many first team games, did he, John Filan? I remember.
Did he play any? I'm not sure he did actually.
Yeah, I think he played. He might have played in. I remember seeing him maybe in a couple of cup matches, but not many. Not many first team games. From what
the first match we drew 2-2 there. Paul Talfer scored twice.
Yeah.
Oggy, Burrows, Shaw, Williams, Hall, McAllister, Richardson, Solarco, Talfer, Dublin, Whelan. Those are the days where you put your team out to play. There's none of this. Put the reserves in.
Yeah. God. Anyway, so Simon Wells was the only one correct, was he? Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anyone I can see on there? Yeah. Congratulations to Simon. You've got 2 tickets for Tuesday night's Meet the Players at the Sky Blue Tavern. If you'd like to email me your details, please, if you email me your telephone number to Sky Blue Fans TV, gmail.com or info at Sky Blue Fans TV, either one of those. Just email your telephone number, please, and we'll get in contact with you to get those tickets sent to you. They are electronically, so I can transfer them to you by phone. So if all I need is your telephone number, and we can transfer the details onto you, and you should have a good night. So it should be it's a fantastic night, Tuesday night. It is a good night, isn't it, Claudio? We enjoy it.
Yeah, it is. It's a good night. You get a chance to meet players. I mean, I took the lad who's staying here with me, and who's a Man United fan. He's coming on Tuesday.
Oh, is he coming again? The same guy as last time?
Yeah, and obviously Luke is coming as well. So, and he was saying, he said, I can't believe it. I can't believe you can get this close to proper, professional footballers.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, it's a good night. And so saying, you can ask what you want. There's no.
No, you can ask what you want. There's no holds barred. There's no questions that you're not allowed to ask within theory. As long as you're not rude or offensive.
I went to the tavern today actually because Keith has come over from Canada. He's landed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
booked a table.
Yeah, well, he's got tickets for the thing on the show on Tuesday, and obviously I've got them here. So I said I'll go over to the tavern, and I took over a load of programs he's bought and stuff he's collected that I give to him to hand over. And I get and realise I haven't got the tickets with me. I've left them on the printer, and then I realise it's okay. I can just email you. I'll email you the tickets anyway. So yeah. Oh God, it was 4 o'clock this afternoon. There's quite a few people in there. It's quite
well. That's good because it's a great. It's just probably it's a bit out the way out of the city centre. It's a bit out the way right from the city centre, if you like. It's on the ring road sort of thing, but it's a fantastic place. Great venue with a lot of the Coventry City men have been in there. If you haven't been, I suppose a lot of fans have been down there now. But if you haven't been down there, then you need to get yourself down the tavern and have a look at the place. It is a great venue even for a party and stuff like that. I know Miles had his party there, but yeah, it's I love it down there. It's a good venue and it's all Coventry City. It's a great little sports bar and it is getting busier. It gets busier all the time. They've got a lot of events on there. So
we quite enjoyed it because we were watching the ending of the Forest Villa game and seeing Villa get beat. So that was quite nice.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shock actually because Villa won the last 7 games, haven't they? So yeah, it was a bit of a shock. Let's have a look before we wrap it up. Then, unfortunately, Victoria didn't make it tonight. I'm not sure what happened to Vic. I'm sure Vic was due to on tonight. Miles is obviously poorly in bed, so we send our best wishes for Miles to get ready for Tuesday night for Meet the Players. Let's have a look. A few more of the comments that are coming through. In small, ref Wright was offside. Faz not a pen. Godden and Ellis fouled too. Made loads of mistakes. Yes. A UEFA ref in sharp decline. Yeah. Wayne Vaughan. Good evening, Wayne. Apparently Bobby Thomas has a long throw too. Yeah, apparently he does, but we haven't seen much of it, have we? That's the problem. We haven't seen much of it. Ian Small says Morton Millwall fell through at the last minute. Oh, I didn't realise that. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that. Well, that's news to us, Ian. It's probably understandable then. I don't know. Maybe he didn't agree on wages or whatever, but that probably would have been a good move for him, to be fair, wouldn't it? To Millwall. And I didn't know that. So, what do you think of Chief's performance? He did a bit off it. Yeah. I discussed Chief. I did think personally, the last couple of games he's been off it. Some of his passes have been a bit wayward, if you like, but it's unlike him, to be honest, because he's normally on it big time. Ben Chief, he's normally a reliable player, but as I say, we've got to blame the whole team. We can't sort of blame individuals. It's a whole team effort. They all know where they've gone wrong, and hopefully they'll all, as a team, put it right, and that's what they need to do. Wimbledon 16th November 1960. What's that? Ian Plumlett.
Reference to Strachan.
Oh, is that right? Oh, is it? Oh, right.
Yeah, we played Gillingham. We played Gillingham on the 13th.
Yeah.
3 days before.
Yeah. We're living by these towns. My claim to fame many years ago. Now, when I was about 5 years old, so roughly 31 years ago, I lived in the same cul-de-sac as Kevin Richardson. Well, there you go. We've all got claim to fame, so there you go, man. Kevin Richardson, we got from Villa, didn't we, Kevin Richardson? He's a good player, wasn't he? Do you remember him?
Yeah. He spent a lot of money, did Big Ron, didn't he?
He did. He smashed the cash.
Was he the first signing he made? I think he was, wasn't he?
It could have been, because obviously he knew him well from Villa, because his time at Villa, didn't he? So obviously
the problem with Big Ron, and I've always felt, I'm not sure he really wanted to be here.
You think he just took it for the sake of it?
I mean, he did wonders for the club because he put 5,000 on the gate straight away.
Backed out. Yeah.
And but I never had it. It just didn't sit right. It didn't feel right. I think everywhere he'd been before, whether it was
West Brom, Villa,
Sheffield Wednesday, Villa, you'd have to say that in status terms, these are classed as bigger clubs, aren't they? And it seemed like a fit. When he came to us, it felt like a bloody charity move. I don't know. It just didn't feel right, and it didn't have the effect I thought it was going to have either. Really, apart from seats.
And of course, he bought in Strachan as well, didn't he? So
yeah, that was the best thing he did at the time as a player. And
he was fantastic, by the way. When he did play at 40 years old, Gordon Strachan, he played. Was he 40 when he played for us? I think he was, weren't he? He was fantastic, and he changed games, didn't he, when he came on as sub? Or whether he.
And then Big Ron was meant to move up and be like director of football. There's all big plans. I think there's stuff.
Oh, loads of plans
behind the scenes where he couldn't do that. I think personal reasons. But it was it's I don't know. It just didn't seem to sit right with me.
No, it was a weird one, but it certainly put the big higher profile on the club, didn't it? Definitely. We seemed to get a lot of TV games and stuff when Big Ron took over, and I suppose we've generated a little more money from that. Okay, back to the messages before we wrap up. Joe Kelly, good evening, chaps. A must win on Saturday, you feel? Yeah, we're just going to talk about a little bit about Saturday now. Where do you think Saturday it's got to be a must win, Claudio?
Yeah. Well, definitely not a must. It can't be a lose, that's for sure.
No, I don't think a draw will get us anywhere now. We've got to win, haven't we? We need 3 points on the board, I think.
We need a confidence boosting win all round for everybody.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get it against Stoke because I think they beat us last year, didn't they, down here? Not a nice pressure to have, but it's a must. Paul Thomas reckons it was Wimbledon. No, you were incorrect there. It was Gillingham, in fact. Covandy. I went the last time I was in the Cov, and I didn't get in. What's that? Didn't get in. Had he booked?
Hadn't booked. I think he's on about the tavern.
Oh, the tavern. Yeah. You have to book the tickets online. Normally it's a sellout. I don't know how many tickets are left, to be honest. We don't know who the players are. It's a bit of a mystery. They decided to not tell us the players until the last minute.
Simon's got his email address on that.
Right, okay. We'll get them tickets over for you for Tuesday, Simon. But yeah, there is tickets still available. If you go onto the website on the Sky Blue Tavern, I believe there's still some tickets available to buy, but you do have to book. I don't think you can't turn up on the night because it's limited availability. It's not a massive room. Only holds probably about 200, I'd say, Claudio, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah. They scan you in, don't they? So you can't.
And they scan you in, so there is limited availability, unfortunately, and that's the way they have to do it, because they have to have a ticket only, because it's a limited room, limited space, and you can't just have people turn up on the day because they don't know how many is going to turn up. So they need to do it by a ticket only event, and that's the only way to get tickets is by going onto the website of the Sky Blue Tavern and booking. Strachan, probably comes here about Strachan. He was Ron's fittest player.
He was.
And he's the oldest, but he's probably his fittest, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You're right there. Yeah. Simon sent his email. Thanks very much. Joe Kelly, let's keep singing loud and proud. Yeah. Well, we'll leave you with that comment. Let's keep singing loud and proud. I quite agree. Give me a little score prediction for Saturday then, Claudia. I know you have to probably give it again on Thursday. But give us an insight. What you're thinking?
I think I tell you what. I reckon we're going to go out all guns blazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go for it. Let's.
And would you make many changes? Would you sort of give them all another chance?
I'd like to think we go with a more attack-minded team.
I'm definitely looking to bring back in Sakamoto. Definitely.
Yeah, because you can still go 4-3-3, but not really have an attacking side out.
Yeah.
You could end up with, you could still put two defensive midfielders in the three and have the one attacking midfielder in the middle. I wouldn't. Let's just be a bit. Go one defensive midfielder and have two more attack-minded midfielders push forward with three forwards.
Yeah.
And just give it half an hour, because. Can it be any worse? I don't think it can be.
No.
That first half hour or so on Saturday. And this is, it's interesting because a lot of fans sort of defend Mark Robins and the way the team's going and selection and stuff. But then Mark Robins comes out and says, we were poor. So I kind of think, well, the manager has said we were poor. We just accept we were poor.
Yeah, we got to get 3 points under our belts, and because obviously we've got an international break after that, so we don't want. The last thing we want is going into an international break with 5 defeats on the trot. That would be bad. We need to get back to winning ways, and I think Stoke are beatable. They are beatable, even though they did. Even though we're living by the talented, reminded he thinks we're going to lose 3-1 on Saturday. I hope I'm wrong. But Stoke ripped us apart last season at the CBS. You're quite right. They did. If I remember, they played really well. They came here. They got a result. They did their homework. But I say Stoke are beatable. They're not. They're a very similar sort of side to us, really. But
they've signed a load of players as well. So it's 2 clubs.
Yeah, exactly.
A load of new players. So we'll see, won't we?
And we'll have Michael Rose and obviously. What's his name? The defender. Yeah, McAnally up against us as well. So that'll be interesting as well. So Cov Andy reckons 2-0 win. Joliet have it 2-1. Says Simon Wells. Says 2-1 City. Congratulations again, Simon, on your win. We'll get your tickets to you as soon as possible. Now we've got your email address. And that's about it. Well, thanks very much. There's only been 2 of us tonight, but unfortunately, Miles has been poorly, and I'm not sure what happened to Vic. Hopefully Vic's okay and everything is okay. But
we put it out there. We put it out there. If you want to come on the show,
yeah, definitely. Anybody out there wants to come on, just send us your email address to Sky Blue Fans TV. Give us your details, and we'll slot you in either a Thursday night or Sunday evening. We all start at the same time, about 7:30. So you're welcome to come on and give your views and. Come and have a chat. Everything about Coventry City. We're not scary. We're quite pleasant people, so nothing to be scared of. Don't be shy. Send us your email, send your details, and come on for one of the shows. You're welcome. So we've always got time slots available. I say it's either a Thursday night. If you can't make a Thursday night due to work and stuff, you can always come on a Sunday night as well, 7:30. So we're on for probably about an hour. You don't have to come on for an hour. You can go on for half an hour if you want to come on for half an hour. It's up to you.
If you want to contact me directly, I'm on Facebook.
Yeah,
it's an easy name to find.
Yes, very easy.
So just drop me a message.
Yeah, drop any of his messages on Facebook, or just send us your details to Sky Blue Fans TV email address, and we'll get back in touch with you, and we'll send you the link, and you can come on and have your say. The more the merrier. We like to get different fans on here, different faces, and it's all about, because without you, without the fans, without the listeners and the watchers, there would be no program. So it's all about the fans, and that's what we like to do. We like to give anybody an opportunity to come on. Right. We're living by these towns. Oh, come on. Well, yes, you can come on. No problem. Just send us your details. skybluefanstv@gmail.com. Telephone number and stuff, and then we'll send you a link to your email address as well, please, and you can come on, and we can speak to you live rather than messaging in. You can, and because Claudio used to do all this, he used to message in, didn't you, Claudio?
Yes.
And now he's here. Look, he's next to me. Look, well, he's not next to me, but he's live on the air. So there you go. It does work. So anyway, that's it. That's all we've got time for tonight. Hopefully, Miles will be okay for Tuesday night. Meet the players at the Sky Blue Tavern. If you ain't going along, there is still some tickets available, I believe, on the Tavern website. We don't know who the players are, but it is a great night. Starts at 7:00, lasts for a couple of hours. You've got a chance of winning a signed shirt as well in the raffle. It should be interesting this Tuesday, because there'll be some interesting questions, I think, on recent performances, should we say. So hopefully it'll be a good night. Next live show is Thursday with Miles. He'll be back with Spot the Ball, and of course we'll have Guess the Gate as well. You have to guess the gate for Saturday's game against Stoke City, and you can win a prize as well. So tune in for that on Thursday with Miles, and I'll be back next Sunday to review, hopefully, 3 points in the bag against Stoke City, and going into the international break. So let's hope we can do that. Anyway, thanks very much, Claudio, for joining us.
Yeah,
appreciate it. I'll see you Tuesday night at the Tavern, and all I can say is very good night to you all. Thanks for all the messages, and play up Sky Blues.
Play up Sky Blues.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.